discussion.
Well, not just that, on our Portfolio Advisor segment, we'll be discussing Shiv Sharan Agarwal's portfolio up ahead.
Okay, let's introduce then our guests, and they'll be helping us over the next 30 minutes. Aiding us on the fundamentals, we have AVINNAsh GORAKSSAKAR, and here to talk about the technicals, Gaurav Bissa, derivatives analyst at LKP Securities. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Well, let's kickstart the show with our first query. This has been sent in from Vireshwar Dahiya from Haryana. He's got his first question up on SpiceJet. Let's hear him out.
Good day. This is Vireshwar here, and I'm from Sonipat, Haryana. I'm into investing stock for last 2 years. I've got few queries regarding the stock I hold. The first one is SpiceJet. I hold 42,000 shares, which I bought at the average price of 25. I want to know the long-term and short-term view.
Okay, so he's seeking advice from a short as well as a long-term perspective. Quite a hefty quantity there, but making good money given that SpiceJet is currently quoting at around 73 to 75 rupees. Recently, we had an exclusive piece of information. Sources indicated that the Aviation Ministry had written to the Oil Ministry on the high ATF or aviation turbine fuel prices, and they're seeking passing on the benefit of the low crude oil prices for some of the airlines as well, questioning really the rationale of the kind of frequent hikes that we've seen in the ATF prices of late. So that would indeed come as quite a bit of a positive for some of the aviation companies which have been battling with high ATF woes. In fact, carriers have been constantly blaming the oil companies for not really passing on the benefit of low crude oil prices. Remember, we had a hike in the prices of just 1.5% very recently, and prices of ATF have been hiked 5 times in the last 1 year. But no worries for our investor here because he's making good money on SpiceJet. So let's get in the views then on the fundamental side at least going. And Avinash, walk us through what exactly you think he should do. Should he book some of his profits? Should he stay invested? How does SpiceJet look?
No, I think Avan, he's got a good price at which he's invested in SpiceJet, and the quantity is pretty large. So I would presume that despite the fact that there have been some 4 to 5 ATF price increases, I think the base crude price still continues to be pretty comfortable. Air traffic has been growing quite remarkably well, and my sense is FY17 would be another good year for SpiceJet. So clearly, not only from the earnings perspective at the net level, but even at the operating EBITDA level, my guess is I think still current crude prices are manageable, and probably the company should record a strong hefty bottom line in even FY17. So my suggestion is hold on for the next 6 to 12 months. He could get a price of around 90 to 95.
Okay, what a spectacular turnaround story has it been for SpiceJet from the levels like our guest just pointed out. It can really reach up to about 90. The viewer has in fact bought the stock at about 25 rupees and the stock currently quoting at about 75 rupees. We'd also like to get in a view then from our other guest, and on the technicals, how are you viewing the stock at this point of time? Gaurav?
Well, for the short term, I would say there are some headwinds you can talk about. The levels of 75-80 are proving to be a strong resistance zone, supply zone. We have seen some amount of profit booking coming in from these levels. So if the gentleman wants to know what the view is for the short term, I would say there will still be more consolidation. Expect consolidation for another a few weeks at least, if not months. And once it crosses 80, then I would have a similar view that it may have a retesting levels of 90-95, and it can even cross those levels, because the kind of breakout of the long consolidation generally leads to a significant upside. We have seen the stock showing similar kind of pattern when it came out of consolidation from 20-30 zone to around about 45-50, and then there was another breakout from 50 zone. Similar can be expected for the short term. I think since the quantity is quite large, if he's comfortable, he can book some amount of profits, and once 80 is crossed, I think he can have a stop loss. He can revise the stop loss to 66 to 68 and play for targets of 95 to 100 in coming months.
Okay, that's the view coming in on the fundamentals as well as the technicals on SpiceJet. Above 80, the stock has the potential and the legs to move up to even 95 to a triple-digit 100 rupees stock. That's the view coming in on the technicals, and even Avinash reckons that it's a good stock to keep in your portfolio. So hold on for levels of 90. Now, next up, he's got another aviation stock. Clearly seems to have a fancy for flying high. So let's hear out his query on Jet Airways.
I have 755 shares of Jet Airways with the average price of 252. Again, short-term and long-term view.
Okay, again, Vireshwar has got a good buying price for Jet Airways, given the stock is currently trading around 626 levels. In fact, this week also the stock has seen a very good run-up. Gaurav, would like to get in your thoughts on the charts of Jet Airways. How do you think this one stacks up against the other aviation stocks?
The stock has been again seeing good amount of consolidation, but it's been forming base. It started seeing good amount of base from 520, 530 levels. Then it came out of the consolidation phase and went directly towards 575, 580. It consolidated a little bit over there, and then it's now at 625, 630 and seeing consolidation. So it's a very beautiful pattern that it's seeing consolidation, and just the base is being shifted to the higher levels, and that's a very positive sign for the stock. So in the near term, the stock might touch levels of 675, 680. I'm just talking of next few weeks or next few days. Over a slightly longer term, I think the stock has potential to touch levels of around about 750, 800. 665, 670 is the immediate resistance, I would say, and that's a very strong resistance. If that is taken out, then we can have a smooth ride till 750, 800. So for somebody who has been holding on to stock from much lower levels, I think the trailing stop losses are important, because the market conditions are such that you may see some amount of profit booking coming in. It's not that difficult. One can have a trailing stop loss at 545 to 550, because that is the level from where the breakout started in the stock, and one can play for targets of 750 to 800. That would be the immediate targets that in a couple of months. And going ahead, probably a year or so, we can see much more returns coming in from 800 levels.
Okay, so far so good, no turbulence for Jet Airways, but I think Gaurav stressed on the point that keeping trailing stop losses around those 525 to 550 levels, that's important to monitor on a Jet Airways. Let's get in a view then, Avinash, on the fundamental side. Our investor here is making good money right now, but do you think that this is one of the more quality plays within the aviation space, that with the entrance of Interglobe Aviation on the buses, things are likely to be shaken up a lot more, the competition is likely to only intensify within the space? Do you view that as a positive or a negative, and what would be your call here?
I think Avan, again, he's got a very great deal of margin of safety since his buying price is considerably low. But looking at Jet's business model and the kind of geographical reach they have, my sense is, despite Interglobe coming in, and which was already there, now it's a listed company. My sense is, I think you'll probably see air traffic growth as long as it continues at a healthy pace. I think the kind of support Etihad has given to Jet in terms of liquidity, in terms of working capital, I think that is going to play a very important role for Jet going forward. And as far as the domestic demand outlook is concerned, I think it still continues to be buoyant. I think they'll still manage their crude and their operating costs pretty well, and operating leverage is still pretty high. So I would not be surprised that even if he holds on for the next 12 months, probably a target price of 750 looks possible. I think very clearly, I think possibly the stock has consolidated for a long time, and I think next 12 months FY17 earnings should be pretty good.
Okay, so there you have it, Vireshwar. Consensus whole call coming in from both our guests. In fact, Avinash is vouching for a 750 kind of a target price for Jet Airways over the next 6 to 12 months. Let's slip into a short break at this point of time, but on the other side, we'll be discussing Shiv Sharan's portfolio. Stay tuned for that.
Top of the world with Times Network. And you're watching ET Now.
ना आंखों में डर है, ना मायूसी का है गम, जिद हमारी पक्की है, जोश है हरदम, अब न हम रुकेंगे, किरण बन के रोशनी की बाजी हर जीतेंगे।
बूंद 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 में शक्ति और रग रग में विश्वास भर। पराग मिल्क फूड्स विद द गुडनेस ऑफ काउज मिल्क।
With your signature says it all. William Penn, fine writing instruments and men's accessories.
John is a man of focus.